Welcome back to LJ's podcast. If you're listening, I think it's our 11th show. You've got Chris from LJ's here coming at you on this beautiful Monday morning, April 10th. Had an awesome weekend. I hope you did too. Thanks for joining the show. If you're watching on one of the platforms or you're listening on Spotify, thanks for being here and spending 15 or so minutes of your time with us. A lot of cool things happened over the weekend. I did want to hit on one topic that we discussed last week was buying cards that you like. Now there's a collector's side, there's an investor side, there's a flipper side, there's a seller side. If you're going to a card show and you're going to buy cards that you like, you're going to keep those cards. You're probably not going to sell them unless you're going to sell them to upgrade. Like I got a pretty cool Nick Senzel PC. He's not that great from the Reds, but okay, I've got Tyler Stevenson. I've got like six of them. Do I want to have six cool Tyler Stevensons or do I want to sell six of them to buy one really cool one? Well, that's something you got to decide. But if I went in and I bought a bunch of Juan Sotos or Wander Francos, well, I'm just going to go ahead and be like, hey, Wander Franco is now 9-0 on his team and just absolutely blazing it. So I'm probably going to sell that card so then I can fund my own PC. So it's like, do you want to just rinse, repeat? Do you want to buy cards that you like? Do you want to buy cards that you're going to sell? You got to buy cards you're going to flip. Going into card shows, have a plan. If you're watching on YouTube or whatever, here's a Wander Franco 1 of 1 auto PSA 10 Superfractor that we have up for sale currently. If you're listening, you can't see it, but go check us out on the social media platforms. It's there. But Wander Franco has made himself very marketable. If you look at the current MLB stats, you've got MLB batting leaders, Matt Chapman, Luis Arias, Adam Duvall, Vlad, and Bryson Stott. Out of all those people, like Vlad Jr. is the only marketable person. Home run leaders, even Pete Alonso, the polar bear, he was very cool. Duvall, no one likes him. Aaron Judge, he can promote himself. That's awesome. But you've got to be marketable. Bo Bichette plays almost behind Vlad. So like his cards are just undervalued in the hobby. We were talking about it for like the Padres. Manny Machado is probably the best of them. And his cards are so undervalued compared to, Soto and Tatis. And Tatis got completely punked on Twitter this week after he hit a home run. The pitcher was like, oh, new headline, cheater hits a home run off a non-cheater or something like that. Anyways, I thought it was kind of funny. But you've got like Nick Lodolo leading the major league in strikeouts and Garrett Cole in wins. Who didn't see that coming? DeSclafani in wins. Ronald Acuna in stolen bases. Freddie Freeman, marketable, but he's the Dodgers. It's just RBI is Adam Duvall. Like, who's collecting Adam Duvall cards? Like, if you're collecting them, great, but you're not going to buy them to sell and flip. Maybe Yordan Alvarez, but you're looking at the guys like Bobby Witt Jr., Wander Franco, Julio Rodriguez, guys that, in the major leagues already, or maybe you're looking for prospects like Marcelo Mayer. But they've got to be marketable. They've got to be the ones on SportsCenter. They've got to be the ones that people want. And that's how you make, the money. It's like, okay, all of a sudden we've got these Desmond Ritter cards for sale, and he's named the starter. Boom, all of them just sold. Like, we got a bunch of them just up on Buy It Nows, and then they're all sold. The same thing goes for, NBA. We got the playoffs coming up. Looks like the season just ended. Jason Tatum, very marketable. Giannis, very marketable. Is Embiid really marketable? His cards, does he have a great market? Does he not? Okay, just looking through, well, obviously we know about LeBron. If LeBron goes through and wins a championship right now, boom, sky's the limit. Steph Curry coming in at a 6 seed. Like, Jokic is the 1 seed Denver Nuggets, and I personally think it's going to be Denver versus Boston in the finals, and Denver's going to win. But is that really going to do a lot for Jokic cards? Like, is it? I don't know. But if Ja comes back and the Memphis Grizzlies win, Ja cards are going to go nuts. Ja Morant is marketable. Like, the most iconic Ja card I can think of is he's dunking over Kevin Love. Like, they got the one with Young Dolph in the back and all that stuff. But, Anthony Edwards cards, like, what happens with Zion? Is he already considered a bust? Is he going to come back? Like, what's happening? Is he Greg Oden III? Come on now. I mean, Dallas didn't even make the playoffs. So what's happening with Luka? People are going to buy him in the offseason because he's Luka Doncic. Like, he doesn't go down. There's just so many different aspects to collecting cards. As a collector, as a buyer, as a seller, as someone who wants to make money. Like, obviously, I'm a collector at heart, but also I work for a company, LJ's Card Shop. We need to make money. That's what we do. We're a business. We're a card shop. So we're going to buy cards like this one, wait till he does really good, put it up for sale, and boom, make money. So that's kind of how that works. And then, over the weekend, we saw the Masters, and we saw a bunch of the Live guys do awesome. I think 4 of them were in the top 10, and people didn't expect that. You got John Rahm getting his green jacket, which is awesome. But golf cards, if your name's not Tiger Woods, are you really selling for anything? I don't know. You tell me. We got the NFL draft coming up, and, Bowman U cards are hotter than I ever thought imaginable. If you get little Caleb Williams cards, they're going for a lot. CJ Stroud cards. There's money in everything, and you just got to find it. You got to figure out how to get there. And then with Major League Baseball, let's get back to that. O'Neal Cruz goes ahead and breaks his ankle, probably out for the season. What's going to happen to him? If you're a believer in literally the Pittsburgh Pirates, or is he going to get traded to like the Yankees or the Red Sox in a couple years, and all of a sudden, hey, that's a 2-year commitment on a card you're going to buy, or you just want to throw some money in like Tesla. You want to throw some money into Apple or Microsoft or Vanguard, Home Depot, something like that. Right now, the collectibles market is up higher than like the S&P 500 is. And I mean, you can look up the numbers on Card Ladder or wherever you go see your numbers at, but over like the last 10 years, it's outperforming. I mean, right now they're down 44%, but also that's because we had the COVID boom. Like, stuff was selling like no one's business in the COVID boom. I believe the Zion base Prism PSA 10 was going for over $800. That's like a $100 card right now. So that's just absolutely insane. How we had the boom and the bust, and it's going to go down a little further, but then it's going to come right back up. You just got to have a plan. So if you're a collector, have a plan. If you're a business, have a plan. If you just like ripping cards, have a plan. I went to the Xenia show with my buddy Tyler a couple weekends ago, and I didn't have a plan. I ended up like way overpaying for stuff because usually I go in, I want to buy 5 or 6 cards. This is how much money I want to spend. These are the players I want to buy. I had no plan, but I had a great time, and it was awesome. So we're getting into about 8 minutes into this, and I think that's about where we're going to be, about the 8 to 10 minute mark on Mondays. We are again without Josh, and I didn't really have a plan for this show. I just started going and talking. I texted my wife, was like, hey, what should I talk about today? She said, what happened over the weekend? Like the Masters, 9-0 Rays, NBA playoffs. I mean, you got the NFL draft coming up. And then, okay, how about this? What's going to happen to Garrett Wilson cards once Aaron Rodgers officially signs? I saw actually Jerry Jeudy went up. He had a better year with Russell Wilson, but what's going to happen with Jerry Jeudy when he actually has better, or say Michael Thomas, not even Michael, Chris Olave, now that he's got Derek Carr to throw him, or if Lamar Jackson goes to, say, the Commanders, what happens to Jahan Dotson cards? If Pickett has an amazing year, what happens to the George Pickens cards? So you got to look and see what the quarterback's going to do for the rest of your team. Obviously, defensive players, whatever. I got my eye on a Steve Atwater auto coming up, so don't bid on it, or do bid on it, because it's an LJ's card and we'll make more money either way. No, I'm just teasing. But that's neither here nor there. I'm kind of rambling on now because that's what I do. But thank you so much for listening. We'll be back Mondays with the podcast. Try one more day during the week, and then Friday facts. Hopefully we can get the Saturday stories with Stefan. Like, we have some serious awesome cards. But Stefan knows how we got those cards. I don't. If he could sit down and talk for like 5 minutes about seriously cool cards and show them, people would like that. But thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, some of those, you're listening on Spotify, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back another day. So you take care of yourselves and each other.